Hello everybody, it's Shadow Fox and Golds, and we are playing some Final Fantasy XIII in preparation of 13-2, which comes out January, February. And this video is going to show you how to spin some, to get some Gil.
Really window. Blinded by the light.
Anyway, this is going to be a video on last minute Gil grinding for the Treasure Hunter trophy / achievement. And I'll talk about another way to get Gil, but I found this one to be the easiest and the most mind-numbing. And no, I have not finished the achievement yet because I haven't felt like grinding out all this Gil. I just know how to do it.
It's like you knew I was going to ask that question. It's the weirdest thing.
I felt like, yeah, I feel like I've been here before. But yes. But anyway, we're going to be doing this in Eden Hall, and this is where it's going to take place. It's right before the final boss, and you can actually do this before if you want to do any last-minute upgrades on your weapons, you know, accessories and all that jazz.
Now, is it actually necessary to do this to beat the boss?
No, not at all. As long as she has a Tetra Crown and some other things, it's really no problem at all. And right here I'm going to show you the equipment. Key items, collector catalogs, and the gold watch. It gives you more time, so you get better chances of drops. And collector catalogs and the Genji glove, which, you know, just there's no hit cap basically, so you can have, you know, the most amount of damage.
Now, some are level star and some are level 1. What's the benefit of starring them?
It's for... Okay, so the higher your weapon or your accessory, that just means the stronger it is, basically. It's like you level it up itself.
So if you had stars and everything, the actual rare drop one for the collector's
probably
catalog?
increase, yes.
Okay. So that's what I'll do whenever I get around to this game.
Yes. So I'm going to show you all here. I picked Lightning, Fang, and Vanille.
Because you like female characters.
That, and each one is the strongest in their abilities, as strong as Saboteur, and Lightning, an obvious choice because she has an army of 1, which builds up the chain gauge ridiculously. And I'm going to show you the paradigms here as well. This one was a preempt, so it's not that hard to get through the battles, but it's the one when you do one-on-one, you know, there's no preemptive strike that can be a little bit more challenging, because that one was only a 20-second battle.
5 stars!
But as you can see, they drop a perfume, which is is a very good item to sell. And what you're going to want to do here is basically I start off and I wait for Fang to cast haste on everybody, and while doing that I'm just going to build up a little bit of chain. And since I don't have a somebody that does combat to stagger the bar, I'm going to use Vanille instead, and her Saboteur pretty much does the same thing while debuffing them. So once everybody has haste, I'm pretty much going to do Army of 1, and that's going to bring up the stagger bar. And a little trick I found that in the middle of doing all this, ridiculous acrobatics.
Slow motion, backflip, drop kick, slash, shoot them in the air, lightning, they're dead. Okay.
Pretty much.
That was amazing.
Over the top, yes. 30 seconds. It's not bad. Scarlet Tide is the other rare drop. And like I said, the more catalogs and stuff you have...
Holy crap, what is that?
That is a Vegetable Harvester.
I think I fought that in Eternal Sonata.
Yes. For this one, you're going to want to probably take out that Harvester first. And I'll say right here, after you'll always get a preemptive on it. And what you want to do is you want to stagger it and do Army of 1 immediately, no matter, even if you don't get haste. You're going to wait for the last second until they do get haste and switch to aggression in the middle of it, and it'll completely refill your bar so you're ready to go as soon as it stops. It's a little bit of a lag trick, but it works.
So can you just go back and forth between that Army of 1 and that over and over again? Or?
Pretty much, but it slows down your total time in your battle.
Oh, okay.
So, and you really don't need to use it more than once. Like I said, while you've been doing all that, you're going to notice that the AI of Vanille has pretty much sabotaged everything on the screen at least once, so you can immediately switch to all Ravengers and just wreak havoc on their bars.
Nice.
So your AIs are actually pretty intelligent if you give them the right job. If they run out of people or targets they can do anything, they pretty much quit, which is a big problem if you're not switching constantly. So.
Wow,
Yeah.
She was actually killing something in the air while you were focused on something else. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So your AIs are pretty intelligent, which I like them, especially with Vanille having such a strong debuffing power, and I have her Marlboro wand, so it gives like an increase in duration and all that, so she's pretty much stocked up. So she's a huge asset to this team. And, yeah, I know. I see what you caught there. But anyway, you're going to want to continue the same. Just focus on one right now. You'll see Vanille, actually, as soon as she finishes with one, she'll start hitting the other. And I switched to Smart Bomb, which is 2 Ravagers and a Saboteur. That way, well, let's switch back. But basically what I did was I hit it up the chain gauge a little bit and let Vanille finish. And then switch back to Ravager just to get the chain gauge to stagger. You switch back to Aggression. And you can pretty much finish it off right here. We're going to do the same thing with the second one. Back to Smart Bomb, that way they're debuffing while building up the chain gauge. And once there's enough buffs on there, you're going to switch back. Do Try Disaster. And then immediately back to Aggression. Well, actually, I think she's just going to finish it off. But normally you would go back to Aggression if it still had a life bar. You see how it has no life, but it's kind of doing overkill?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's like wasting your time gauge, basically. So that was a faux pas on my part. So,
Still 5 stars.
either way, you got the perfume, and that's what's important. Scarlet Tides. Going back to the Harvester, you can also get a Mobius Coil, but it's only like 700 gil, whereas the Scarlet Tides are like 14,000 and 7,000. But it's still nice to have. So the more stuff you have, the better odds you get for drops.
Now, does the star rating affect the actual drops that you get?
Yes. Okay. And your star rating depends on your equipments, your weapons, as well as, since there aren't any levels, it depends on your weapons that you have equipped. Like, the stronger they are, the less of a chance, the faster the time gauge, and also how quickly you defeat the opponent. So the quicker the better in this situation. Especially for these. These are all, like I said, these battles can be mind-numbing after a while, because you've done them so many times. But you will see you'll get faster and faster at this. So especially with a gold watch equipped, which you get from the last Merc. And once you get the gold watch, you pretty much can 5-star anything. You really have to be going slow. So,
is that just because it gives you more time?
Yeah, it gives you more time. Also, I will tell you right now, you'll see that my characters every now and then will be hit with status ailments. That's because they have death. And once they hit you with it, they'll debuff your party. And I have gotten a game over while mindlessly grinding because I got hit with death on my main character. And it was kind of like, really, when's the last time I died in this game? Kind of scenario. I was like, that really just happened, It's kind of like a kid just one-shotting you in the nuts, and you're just like, oh, that was cool. Not
Nice.
really. Anyway, I'm going to show you right here the shop and how much they are. I didn't get too much from this actual run, but that's okay because you can do it as many times as you want. But you sell it in an R&D depot, which you get in the last, this is the last thing you unlock. And you can see right there, 50,000 and 7,000, depending on how many you picked up. And like I said, you can also get the Mobius Coil, which is good every now and then.
And so what's your target guild?
It's 4 million to get all the
yeah.
accessories upgraded, yes. To my left, I didn't really run towards there, but there are also more enemies that way you can kill, but they don't really have the greatest drop. A couple like credits up there, but it's really not that good. And every now and then too, if you reload your game, all the enemies will respawn, but it kind of takes a long time. It's easier actually just to run back here, hit the save point, and all the monsters will respawn instantly. So it's kind of just a little capture the flag relay, if you want to call it that. So, yeah. You can do this with any characters you want. I found Zaz is an excellent, because I actually ran through with Fang, Vanille, and Zaz. They're great synergists. And you can also, I've also powered house through it and used Snow, Fang, and Lightning, which are your 3 strongest characters. And it's just really your whatever you want to do. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the game.